Hello, everybody. So I'm going to set this here. Ta-da! All right, my name is Cori Kennedy, and I'm going to be hosting a live Q&A with the one and only Samantha Show. It's going to get started in a minute or so here. If you don't know Samantha Show, she's a stud. You may know her for her iconic bat flip at the Women's College World Series with Oklahoma State. Now she currently is with the Scrapyard Dogs. But most importantly today, thank you. Whoopsie. We might have a couple of those today. But most importantly today, we are going to get to know her because she is now part of Athletes Unlimited. And if some of you may be like, oh my gosh, what is Athletes Unlimited? It is a new women's professional sports platform, and the first sport they debuted was softball, and it includes 56 players that they're still filling, but Samantha Show is now one of the 56. So I just have to check here when she's on. We'll see how this works. I gotta find Athletes Unlimited. She's not on yet. So we weren't supposed to start until this minute right now, so I'll give her some time. So it is a live Q&A. I do have some questions to ask her. Also, if you guys have questions to ask, please feel free to chime in. Ask what you want, and I'll try and read through, and we'll ask if I get the opportunity to do so. But yeah, so that's it. That's what's going to be going on today. A lot of people are saying hello. Hello, everybody. I don't know all the rules to Instagram Live. I haven't lived that often in my lifetime, but I guess I'm going to learn really quick. Someone said, shout me out. Robinson. Is it Robinsonella? Grace? We're waiting for Samantha Show to join. The Texas native. I gotta hit that. Nobody yet. We got some hearts. Thank you. Is it Maggie? Can you do a shout out video and include me? Oh, you guys are funny. Okay. So you guys more about Athletes Unlimited. It is a new professional sports league for those of you who are just popping on. And it takes place over a 6-week span. It includes 56 softball players. Some of you might be saying, but there's already pro softball. Well, this is different. Besides from, any of the pro teams, anything with the NPF league, it's all combined. Anyone can join as long as, you're a pro athlete. So it'll be really fun. It'll include, I believe, 4 teams. And it'll be a totally different sports-based type of thing. So it'll be more about, interacting with the fans. It's going to be a lot about fantasy league scoring. The players, they get paid off of scoring in the league. So there's a lot of stuff to be included for details. So please go ahead and follow Athletes Unlimited if you want to know more about it. It'll tell you how the scoring works. It'll tell you the athletes that have already signed. And it's going to be totally rad. Oh, there we go. We got esports. I gotta go find it on here. I'm trying to add. Let's see. I'll give it a second while it's thinking. Ta-da! There she is, the one and only. So everyone, this is Samantha Show. If you're just popping on, Samantha Show is, softball icon. Probably, she's probably the most iconic bat flip yet in the game. Sam, can you see me right now?
I can't see you.
Okay, I don't know why. Well, maybe I'm just loading. But you can hear me though, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, first of all, thank you for joining. I'm also going to give a shout out to We Live Softball for letting us pop on here. I don't know why it's not showing me, but maybe it'll kick in.
Hopefully.
Yeah, as long as you can hear me though. All right, so first of all, I guess I should say, how are you spending your time in quarantine right now?
Well, I'm actually in my last semester of college, so I've been doing homework and trying to stay on top of that. But I've been really lazy. Lazy in the fact that, I'm laying in bed more than usual and I'm watching, more Netflix than I'm used to, so I feel lazy. But I've been working out, and I actually just got back home with my family, so it's been fun. It's definitely different. I'm not used to having this much time on my hands,
Mm-hmm.
but getting through it, staying safe.
Yeah, staying safe and healthy. So you said Netflix. Can I ask what you're watching? What are you binging right now?
So I've finished the second season of All American, and then I'm actually on the 14th season of Grey's Anatomy. I started it a long time ago, and then I kind of got bored with it. Now I've come back to it because I don't really have anything else to
Oh,
do.
wow.
I'm almost done with season 14,
How many
and then
seasons?
there's 15 on Netflix. I don't know real, like actual TV, what season they're on. Oh, there you go. I kind of saw you for a
Oh,
minute.
there.
There are.
Oh, they are
Um,
close. Well,
I've
awesome.
also been watching Catfish on Hulu. Catfish is a good one.
What do you
Say that again?
Catfish?
Yeah, Catfish.
I love Catfish. First of all, I love Neve. He's like the
Yes.
nicest, sweetest guy. He like, and if they're like, no, I don't want to meet, he always talks them into 100% of the time. But I also am sad that Max left.
Yeah, what's up with that? Did he
I
like
don't
leave?
know. He's probably got personal life stuff going on, as we all do.
That's true.
I liked him on the show because Neve was such a hopeless romantic, but then Max is always like 100% real. He's like, no, like they're playing him. This is fake. You got to do it. And he's always like, no, this is fake. He's like, no, it's not. I loved it. But yeah, no, I do love Catfish. That is a great show. They started a new show where it's Neve and can't remember the girl's name, but it's about instead of like catfish situations, it's someone in a relationship and they come forward, they go, I think something is going on. Like say like I'm married, right? Which I'm not. Say I'm married, and I go, I think my husband's up to something fishy. I don't know if he's seeing someone. I don't know if he's like this going on in his life that I don't know about. So they do their like FBI investigating, which I love because it's all stuff
yeah.
a normal person can do.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's hilarious. But they do that and they find out like, maybe someone's cheating. One time they found out this one guy, she's like, he's leaving the house. I think he's cheating on me. Turns out he was a drag queen. And he didn't want to tell us about it.
Oh.
It's totally
Wow.
yeah. So have you started Tiger King at all? I feel like that's
Oh, I watched that.
you all of it? I need to watch it.
It's so crazy. Cause like, okay, so I went to Oklahoma State and that's where I was, and like Oklahoma's not big, but it's crazy that was going on. And I had actually how old did I turn my senior year? 22. For my birthday, I wanted to go there because I wanted to see big cats. Like I thought that was so cool. It didn't happen, but like I was gonna go there, and just it's so crazy. Like so much stuff happens. Like crazy. I thought it was interesting and it was good entertainment, although it is kind of sad, but it's good.
I'm probably gonna love it. My brothers they're all over it. They love it. So but
Yeah.
I've been binging. It's one of those shows where it's so dumb, but you just gotta watch it. Love is Blind.
Okay. My boyfriend and I were gonna watch that, but then the virus happened and I'm gonna watch that because it's similar to The Circle on Netflix. Have you watched The Circle?
I haven't.
That's really good. It's really good because it's like a reality, but on Netflix, and you don't have to wait, a week to watch.
Okay.
You can watch as many episodes as you want.
Okay. But I will warn you though, with Love is Blind, it's mostly you're gonna laugh a lot because say this is say this is the wall, right? They have a wall separating them, and they'll be like against the wall, and they'll be like, oh my, like I need to hear you. And they'll be like, oh my gosh, like my face just hurts so bad. And I'll be like, oh my god, because I'm smiling so hard. And you're just like, oh my gosh. But yeah, so all right, The Circle. I should watch Circle. Well, I'm gonna watch Tiger King first, but a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
So I suppose we should dive into some softball stuff.
Okay.
Well, actually, first, so with training and stuff, what's your schedule look like these days? Oop, there we go. What's your schedule look like these days with quarantine? Do you have a routine set, or do you have anything else going on?
Yeah, so I've actually been resting from softball. So I was a student assistant for OSU, and so I was throwing BP and I actually hurt my elbow throwing BP. So I've been resting completely, and I'm about to start getting back into the swing of things. So I haven't been doing softball related things. I have been working out. I started doing like HIIT workouts where I'm just constantly moving, not a lot of weight, just body weight and stuff like that. Um, but I've just been working out and trying to eat okay.
Aren't we all?
Yesterday I went for a mile run, which I haven't done in so long, and my hips hurt.
Oh,
But
see, men
yeah,
don't
that
understand.
was
Our hips hurt when we do anything.
it's so ridiculous. Like I can't even sit cross-legged
I know.
because they just tighten up. It's ridiculous.
Oh
But
man.
yeah.
So I mean, you have Netflix going on. Do you have any other hobbies going on? Well, because I mean, I went to Walmart and I bought as many puzzles and board games as I could. They had them on sale for like $5. I'm like, that's rad. So I bought a ton. Are you doing anything like that? Maybe sewing. Some people do that. I have no idea. Knitting, whatever it may be.
No, I'm on TikTok. I watch a lot of TikToks.
Oh, TikTok is addictive.
It is.
I hesitant to get into the TikTok game for a while because I was like, it's just dancing. It's like all these 15-year-old girls dancing, but then it's actually so funny. There's so much
Yes.
there. So I would, if anyone's watching, I would recommend to go on TikTok, check it out. You don't have to love it. You don't have to make any. You can just enjoy the content that's on there. It's a lot like Vine.
Yes, it's turning into Vine, and I absolutely love it.
A lot of Vine energy.
Yes.
Today
Yes.
they get to watch, what are they, like compilation videos of Vines, but man, it was different.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely.
It was the best when Vine started, like the top ones. I don't even remember the top Viners, but like there was no edit button, so it was just
Mm-mm.
the whole time. So if you messed up your take, that was, they don't they don't understand it. It's a different struggle today. A
Oh
different.
yeah. Sure.
So all right, now I guess we should get into softball stuff because
Okay.
yeah. So for anyone in the comments today, so I mean we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. We might talk about softball, but mostly we're getting to know Samantha today. Kind of just introducing the athletes so you can get to know them more one on one as we go through the league. So let's start with where you grew up. Do you think growing up in Texas that shaped who you were as a softball player and kind of because a lot of people say that you play with a lot of passion. Do you think that influenced you where you grew up?
I mean, maybe. I mean, I started playing softball at the age of 5, and I have an older sister who played softball. So, and she's 9 years older than me. So, from a really young age, I was just around the softball field, and I just fell in love with it from the very beginning. I don't know. I mean, softball was like the only sport I played. I played basketball a little bit, but maybe it is where I grew up in Pearland, Texas, which is right outside of Houston. It was a big softball, baseball community. Um, I guess so. I mean, I've always been super competitive. Um, I remember being in like 8 and under and practice getting canceled because of rain, and I would like bawl my eyes out. I just want to practice. So that's probably where it comes from, is just my competitiveness. Um, One thing last year that Coach G really liked is that I was like willing to do whatever it took to win, and whether that be having to step up in the last inning to hit a home run or getting a ground ball to get the last out, something like that. And I think I learned that competitiveness from probably the area I grew up in. I mean, our softball league was right next to our baseball league, and when I wasn't playing, I was at the wall playing wall ball with all the boys, and so I just surrounded myself with a lot of competition because that's what I love. I love competing and I love being the best. So yeah, probably.
That's awesome. So when you talked about leadership, whether it's in the circle or hitting a walk-off hit, I read an article and it was talking. Your coach was talking about how you don't like to beat around the bush. You like to compete. You like to win, and if you want to do that, that's totally fine. I love that. I love an athlete with that type of drive. Were there any scenarios where you had to put your foot down, and sometimes being the number one leader has to be saying things that are tough to say. Did you have a lot of those scenarios when you were at Oklahoma State?
Not really. I've never been on a team like that. Like that was a whole new experience for me because we were all literally on the same page with everything. They definitely needed a leader, and that's what I brought to the table, but I never had to like put my foot down with something and be blind and be like, no, you can't do that. Everyone was so in it together. And that's hard to come by, especially with girls. It sucks to say, but it's hard for everyone to come together and work towards one goal. And that's what that team was last year. I've definitely been on teams where I've had to put my foot down and it wasn't fun. And I think, especially for me growing up, because I've always had this, probably at the time I didn't know, but like just this leadership in me. And I've had a harder time making friends because I say the hard things. I can remember one time, it was like, was it 12 and under, 14 and under? I don't know. It was actually with Tori Vidales. We played on the same select team, and everyone was so excited for a piece of gum. And I was like, why can't y'all be this excited about softball? And everyone hated that. And but that was me being competitive and wanting to win and not understanding how they were so excited over a piece of gum and they couldn't be excited over softball. So I've definitely said the tough things. I didn't necessarily have to last year, but I've said them before.
So you did transfer from Texas A&M, and so I follow Riley Sarton on Instagram, and she's like, I don't know, like if you do this, but like sometimes I'll follow people on Instagram, and like I feel like I know their life. Oh, I've never met her ever. Well, so like when she got engaged, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be the best wedding. And she got married, and I'm like watching like the Instagram, like the bridesmaids getting ready, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, and people be like, who's that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like Riley. I never met her. I do not know her, but like
right.
With country singer Carly Pierce, I'm like, oh, her and Michael. Yeah, but so now it's funny because you played with her at Texas A&M, and now you get the opportunity to play with her again at Scrapyard. So I have to ask, like, what's she like?
She's very sweet. Okay, so a very good person, really good teammate. She's really smart. So we were in the same class at A&M, freshman class, whatever, and like she was studying rocks and she wanted to go into the oil field. Very smart individual. I think she switched to nutrition or science, exercise science or something, but she's very intelligent, but not to where she's like socially awkward. She's not socially awkward whatsoever. I enjoyed like that freshman class at A&M. We were so tight, but like I was excited to play with her again because I know how good of an athlete she is as well, and how knowledgeable she is about hitting and fielding. I remember being at A&M and just watching her take infield because it was like, wow,
Yeah,
I didn't take infield, but it was really cool to watch her go in the cages and do hitting groups beforehand and just sit there and watch her swing and her break it down so well. But she's a really good person, great athlete, great person. You know, I was happy to see her and Noah one date and then get engaged, and now they're married, and they all live together with her parents, and Brooks, her brother, and they, play baseball and softball together. And I enjoy watching her on Instagram.
Yeah, no, I do. Low-key Brooks, though, that kid's a stud.
Oh my gosh, he needs to go play men's fast pitch.
And then what video was it? He's like imitating 3 different D1 pitchers, and I'm like, who is this kid?
He was even doing that like 4 years ago when like Monica Abbott, whoever, he had me down. Like he could do anyone.
Like my brothers could never. They're wrestlers, so like they're just sturdy. We'll say that. They're
right. Yeah.
But yeah, no. God, that's so cool. Do you have anyone on Instagram you follow like that you've never met them, but you're like, oh my gosh, like?
Yeah. So I've been following Danielle Laurie, and I've been following her for a while. And so last year at the World Series, before the games happened, you go and you talk to like the broadcasters, and it was this big room. It was like a square tables that were in a square shape, and a few of the players were sitting on like this side, and then you had all the broadcasters around, and I saw her and I was like, oh my gosh, like I wanted to ask her how her kids were and how her husband was, but I couldn't.
Her kids are adorable.
Oh my gosh. And then Scrapyard went to Canada and we got to play them and I got to hit off her and I saw her kids running around in the outfield. I wanted to be like, hey, but you can't
Yeah, they're so cute. Yeah, and she's just
do
like,
that.
she's like a power mom. I
Oh my
swear,
gosh.
and I can't remember her name. UCLA. She had a baby, and she's
Oh
just
my gosh.
yeah. I swear. And even you look at like Serena Williams, they have a baby, and everyone's like, oh, they can't come back. They had a baby, but they come up and they have this mom power, and it's unmatchable. I mean, it's just crazy. I love it though. I'm all for it. I
Mm-hmm.
love watching it, but I love it. So I'm gonna keep moving through some of my questions here,
Okay.
but I love how I was rolling with it. So you said you started playing softball in fifth grade, or when you were 5?
When I was 5, yeah.
Yeah. So did you grow up idolizing any athlete as a kid, whether it was a softball player or not?
Um, I can remember the first time learning about Jenny Finch. Um, I thought she was cool but I don't. This is the problem I have with this question. I don't ever remember like idolizing someone. Like I was just in my own little world. I loved softball. Just wanted to play softball. I didn't even know playing college softball was a thing until like my 8th grade year when I started getting recruited, and I was like, huh. Um, but yeah, like I obviously looked up to Jenny Finch just because
I feel like that's
I was
every.
even I was even told I looked like her. Like I was like, okay, cool, like sure. Um, and obviously that's someone great to look up to. I don't know if I'm sure there's kids who know of her now, but it's not as common.
Like our generation, just an absolute goddess.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But definitely when I started getting into high school and obviously watching college softball, Allie Cardo was someone that I was like, wow, because she pitched, she led off, and she played first base, and she was like exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted, and she was good at it. And so when I was older, probably her. I actually got to meet her this summer, and I took a picture with her, and I felt like such a freaking fangirl. I was so mad at myself. And it wouldn't even happen. I told Sam Fisher, and Sam Fisher was like, "Hey, Allie, come over here." And I was like, "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
embarrassed."
For anyone in the comments, by the way, if you don't follow Sam Fisher on Twitter, it's gonna make your not just your quarantine better. It's gonna make your life a million times better. Like, is she that funny in person too?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like she's one of those people. Like I want to meet her. I guess as far as like I should say like internet personalities go, I want to meet her, and I really want to meet Haley Cruz.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Those are two good
it's,
people to on social media.
yeah. I feel like there's a lot popping on social media, softball wise, that like hasn't been within the last I don't know. You
Oh
could say
yeah.
3 years. Uh-oh, the purge is happening.
What? Hold on. We can keep talking. I'm just gonna figure out what happened to the electricity.
Yeah, we can still see you.
What? What's going on? I'm on Instagram Live. I guess I could go outside. Hmm? Stop it. That's not funny. Oh, you're watching, Mom. Okay, I'm just gonna go by window.
There you go. That natural light.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Oh my gosh. So if we talk about just your position too, you're a pitcher who also hits, but not just hits, well, but you drop absolute nuke shots.
Thank you.
Awesome. But yeah, no, do you think that separates you as a pitcher at all that you do hit? Does it give you a different perspective or mentality when you're in the circle?
Yeah, I think so. And that's what the one thing I always liked is like if I went and had a bad at bat or I had a bad inning. I'm trying to set this up. Or if I had a bad inning, like I could always go to either or and like forget about it and go attack then. I definitely had to learn how to not take like a bad outing or a bad at bat to each other because then I'm just hurting myself on both ends. But once I figured out that it wasn't, especially in college, that it wasn't as common for a pitcher to hit, it kind of like helped my confidence because I knew I was one of few who did both okay. who did both
I
well.
did okay as one of the top through. Okay. Humble, I like it.
Thank you.
So like from a pitching standpoint, because we can all watch on TV and say what we want. My favorites when like some uneducated basement guys like, oh my god, I'd take her like 500 feet yard. Okay, Derek. But no, is it so like it's different watching on TV versus playing it? I mean, would you say that there's a toughest hitter that you faced, hands down, or like a top two?
Um, Obviously Amanda Lorenz. I got to play her, from freshman year to senior year because we faced Florida. She was always a tough out. I remember my junior year, I threw a changeup and I swear she almost took my head off. And it wasn't even like it was a bad pitch. It was just that's how good she is.
She is crazy.
Yeah, definitely Amanda Lorenz. And I'm trying to think who I played. So Scrapyard played USA a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Who was one that always gave me trouble? The person that comes to my head was Valerie Arioto, but I knew there was another one. Maybe I'll think of it eventually. But what we did to prepare for USA is when we threw our bullpens during practice, we acted like we were throwing to them because a lot of the girls on USA or on Scrapyard had played either with USA players or against them, so they kind of knew. But as the new person coming in, you're like, okay, can't miss here, can't miss here. You have to put the ball in like one little spot if you want to get them out. And but a lot of the hitters on USA, like Kaylee McClenny, I swear she gets on like every time. She's willing to do, like she does whatever it takes to get on, which is really cool. Yeah.
The one thing I think is really cool that Athletes Unlimited is offering players. I mean, first of all, like a decent salary compared to what pro softball can offer, because it's not that they don't want to offer more. It's just it's just where softball's at right now. Yes, it's growing crazy, but like money's always a factor, right? But one thing that I think is really cool is because you have multiple professional things on. You got Scrapyard, you got USA, you got the NPF, and then you have USSSA Pride. They left, but they're still professional. But I think the best thing part of like this league is just all about softball. It's all about the game. Like you can have players from all these different pro leagues and just put them together. And the coolest thing is that the athletes own the league. I think that's awesome. Like I love Gwen Speckis. I love her Instagram stories where it's like all you guys on the Zoom spreadsheet and everyone's talking in the meeting. I think that's really great. But with everyone, I mean, I know they don't have 56 athletes yet, but who are you most excited to play with in Athlete Unlimited?
Yeah, so Alicia Ocasio got added. She's obviously I played against her at Florida, but I'm excited to play with her. I'm excited to see how if like Kelly Barnhill and I are ever on a team. I'm excited to see how that interaction goes just because of the history. I think she has a lot more success pitching to me than I maybe have hitting over her. I know the last instance, was the World Series, but I mean, I faced her my first 3 years too, and I didn't start even hitting her until my junior year. So that's 2 other years where there were like strikeouts and nothing else. I'm interested to see how that goes. Who else have we added? I've worked at camp with Jade Rhodes, but I haven't ever played with her. Played against her at Auburn too, so I'm excited to see. I'm just excited to play with like the best of the best softball players, and then actually getting a chance to play with everyone because we do there's a draft each week, so the teams aren't going to be the same. And especially like with college, you kind of rely on that chemistry that you build with that team as the years go on. And we're going to have a week, if that, a couple of days, like 4 or 5 days, because games start on Friday. You're going to have a couple days to build that chemistry and then go play games and try to win too. So it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. It is really different. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be really exciting just because it's so new. It's something that not just softball, but female sports have not done. I mean, even look, when I saw the first presentation that was shown to me anyway for Athlete Unlimited, it talked about and it was a quote from Megan Rapinoe, and she was saying how it's really tough to compare female sports and male sports because it's just totally different. Because first of all, it's just like anatomically different, males and females. But she was saying that this league is going to be really successful because it doesn't compare to anything that's already out there. It's something. So I'm really excited to see what it does. But overall, like when Athlete Unlimited, when they reached out to you, what was something that intrigued you from the start that made you want to? No.
I like the fact that there's not any coaches. I feel like as professional athletes, we have a good understanding of how the game goes, situations, stuff like that. That's what excited me first, in the fact that they're giving us, there's going to be seminars for like leadership and player development and all this stuff. Like, they're not just helping us as softball players, they're trying to grow us as leaders. I'm actually studying leadership in college, so that's what I'm trying to finish right now. So that's what appealed me a lot. I was like, okay, more opportunities to get better at something that I really like. And the fact that the teams, it's a 6-week league, and you get to, the teams rotate. So that's what drew me in, and that it was in one spot. It's in Chicago, Illinois. Mm-hmm. Illinois. I don't say it, but I have family there. I should know better than to say it.
I think Rosemount. But when I went to Rosemount, because they're like, oh, it's in Chicago, but I mean, technically it is in Chicago, but it's not.
Right.
And I also found out that if you want to buy land in Rosemount, Illinois, you can't. It's all sold. It's all bought. Because Rosemount is technically, it has a really high population, and it's for a business standpoint, but I think it's like, they were saying one person owns like a very large percentage of all of it, and the town is only like, I want to say it's either 2 or 5. I could be wrong, so I'm going to say both. 2 or 5 mile radius. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah, because when I was there for some MPF stuff, they were telling me that. I'm like, oh, I would have never known. Not at all. I wouldn't have had the slightest clue. But I do think it's really cool that they'll get to play at the stadium as well. I think that's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
Played there?
Mm-hmm. I've never even been. Have we been to Rosemont?
Not that we knew of. We may have driven through.
Oh, okay. My mom grew up in Cicero, Illinois. So and she still has family there. So I've been to Illinois. I don't know. I may have driven through Rosemont, but I haven't ever been there.
It's really I'm not much of a traveler either. I mean, I never had my first plane until I got to college, and it was all. So I mean, because I'm one of 6 kids, so like if we went on vacation, we would have been like bankrupt.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so this is some questions that a lot of people, they like to know, because do you have any game day routine, like what you have to do, before you get to the field? Do you have any positions? Is there anything you have to do, including your warm up? Do you have anything like that?
Well, so at least in the places that I have been, there's always been a Whataburger. I love, especially morning games, the breakfast at Whataburger. I was definitely going there. I was getting that. It's funny when people ask me for nutrition, I'm like, I don't eat. Not a nutrition person. So I definitely got to get some Whataburger. I enjoy jamming out. Like, I definitely, in my car to the field, I'm blaring my music. Typically like rap, hip hop, just to kind of get me going. But other than,
you have a favorite artist right now?
I mean, Drake's been my go-to for a long time. Oh my gosh. A lot of the TikTok music I've enjoyed.
Which one I really like is the Beautiful 180.
Oh, yeah.
One. I don't know how, like, it's on the radio now. I'm like, do you do dances on TikTok?
Yeah.
What's your favorite dance?
There's one that I've learned that I have not, like, I've tried to record, but I haven't.
I haven't debuted yet.
It's the song with Super Lonely. I don't know. The dance it's not like your typical TikTok dance with like all the whoa and all this stuff. It's actually yeah. There's none of that in it. And it took me a while to learn. I've recorded and I haven't liked it. But it's the song with Super Lonely. I like the song. That song's really catchy. But yeah, my sister and I actually just posted yesterday some dances on there.
Was that the one where it looked like you were on a run? Was that your sister in that video?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. I was like, either it's her sister or her mom looks amazing. All right, so I don't think anyone's really asked a lot of questions on here. That's okay. That's all right. We've had plenty going on. Someone,
Yes.
flip your camera around. Oh yeah, I know. Someone said, oh no, we'll keep going. I haven't even been scrolling.
I'm at the bottom. Someone asked, what adjustments did you have to make to have success off Kelly Barnhill? Did you hunt locations? So because I had faced Kelly so much, I knew that I was going to get a pitch that was going to be moving up. And when I was failing at hitting her, it was because I was swinging at the one that started at my chest and went up, and I was letting the one starting at my knees go by. So I knew that I was going to have to set my eyes low and know that the ball was going to move up. So with hitting a rise ball, you have to think about where the ball's going to be when it gets to your bat. So you have to literally swing above the ball. And because she does throw up and the ball does move towards your eyes, it looks faster than what it actually is, if that makes sense. Not saying she doesn't throw hard, but it always looked faster because it was coming towards your eyes. And I think once I don't think our hitters at OSU ever understood, but they hadn't faced her as much as I had. I know my junior year at A&M, we definitely made those adjustments and we were able to hit her and we saw the other pitchers more. But yeah, so attacking lower in the zone and knowing that the ball was going to move up, and so you have to swing above, basically.
That's never asked that. That's a good one.
Thank you.
You're green. Good question. I like that. Someone goes, I said I want that coronavirus to go away. I thought they just said I want that corona. I was like, I don't think you do. I don't think you do. Oh, but like, I mean, that's a hot topic to talk about too, with, how, the season's canceled, but they are giving back that year eligibility, but the NCAA is not paying for it. How do you think that's going to affect, especially because, I mean, it's going to affect all divisions. I mean, it's going to come down to financially. What teams do you think are going to thrive, and what teams do you think it could hurt with that goal?
I have a feeling a lot of teams are going to hurt. Obviously, I don't know the budget for a lot of teams, actually. So my boyfriend played football at OSU, and he's a part of SAC. And he had a meeting not too long ago where they talked about what are we going to do with our budget and how we're going to help. And so he was given numbers on what everyone makes. And he was like, obviously football makes a lot and football has to help the other sports. So I don't know. I think Coach G talked a little about it before we left, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to help the seniors this year get what they need. And I think he was saying that it won't affect anyone that, like, the signing freshman class for next year or anyone there. It's going to affect, like, it's going to be taken out of the girls that may be coming in later years. That's where it may get taken out of. At least with OSU. I don't know, and I don't even know if that's right. I'm just what I've heard and, eavesdropping. But I feel like it may hurt a lot of the schools, no matter how much money you have. Also depending on if people stay, how many, because I know there's a couple girls on OSU who are in like nutrition and speech pathology, and those grad school programs, you have to like pick one or the other. You can't pick both. Yep. So that may help because girls may already have jobs lined up too. And so that may help the cost a little bit, but it's also sad that they don't get that last full year at least. But it'll be interesting.
It's going to change things up. Julia, and she said, do they still need to be taking classes to play their senior year again? That is, and I think that is something they're talking about. If they already released it, then I guess I'll have to go find that. But I mean, I don't necessarily know what softball's doing, but so my boyfriend, he plays college baseball, and one thing that his coach was saying is, are they going to make them be full-time students or are they going to make them be part-time? But there's a lot on the table, so who knows? Or are they going to give them kind of a pass? Because say they do give them the athletic money, if they have it, if a program has it, because like you said, we don't know everyone's financial situation. Like how are they? Because they have to pay for tuition too, which is killing people. And it's going to be tough because I know that there's going to be some players that they're not, if they don't get that program money, they're not going to be able to afford to play another year, especially like if you look at seniors. But yeah, it's gonna change it up. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna change things all the way down to statistics. If we talk about breaking records, it'll always be the question of, well, could she have done that in 4 years instead of 5, or heck 6 instead of 7?
Right.
A lot. So I don't know, guys. In the comments, we'll just have to stay tuned and follow up and see what happens. But yeah, so I have some of our last questions here. We're gonna end on some trivia questions, some fun ones. So I like these questions. So since you grew up in Texas, I'm gonna quiz you on some of these are real, some of the weird laws that are in Texas, and they're for realsies. And I love. It always says at the bottom, like, if you get arrested for this, like, contact our lawyers. All right, so we're gonna kick it off. How many of them I got? I got 6 of them for you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's see how well you know. They're absurd. You're gonna love it.
Okay.
All right. In Austin, Texas, it is illegal to carry what in your pocket?
Oh,
Yeah, your mom can join. Have your mom help.
Wait, my sister Sabrina, she said she's heard this.
is it ice cream?
Ice cream?
No.
It's something
Like edible?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Austin's weird. I don't know if y'all have heard that, but like they say keep Austin weird, so this goes along perfectly.
All right. Well, there is a wire.
Wait.
A wire cutter?
Wire cutters.
What'd you say, Mom?
Oh, she's
Peanuts.
my mom said peanuts.
My favorite thing about all these laws, I love that it got to the point where someone's like, okay, this is enough. We need to make this
What?
enough. All right, moving on to number 2. You need a special $5 permit to do what in public?
A special $5 permit to do what in public?
Pee.
The answer is walk around barefoot.
Walk around barefoot.
I wonder if that's a one-time thing. So say I go to the grocery store and back, if that's one $5 permit, and then if I go to like somewhere else, it's another one.
Gosh, why?
Or is that an fee? There's so much we don't know. All right. In churches, hotels, halls of assembly, stores, markets, banking rooms, railroad depots, and saloons, what are they required to provide?
Water? I don't know.
A water. My mom said a water fountain.
A spittoon.
Oh,
What's that?
when guys chew and they spit.
Oh,
That's like
how
spit
funny. Okay. That makes sense to me. I guess because I feel like every guy here chews, but whatever. Okay.
They dip and rip.
Yeah.
All right. Criminals who intend to commit a crime, they have to do what 24 hours in advance?
Plan? I don't know. That's not a law. This is a law?
It's a real law, and it's absolutely absurd because, I mean, they're already a criminal. No one's following this law.
Like, call 911. Hey, I'm about to do this. You might want to be.
That's actually close. They have to contact their victim either orally or by a written notice and tell them in advance what they're going to do to them and give them the nature of the crime. Someone's
Wow.
they have to get by.
We're very polite criminals.
Wow. Yeah.
That's it. Like, I'm going to do this tomorrow. So, like, what happens if they commit the crime and they did let them know? Are they still at fault for committing the crime?
Maybe they just don't get
as bad as.
Yeah. So now you know.
So, like, instead of first-degree murder, we're just going to drop it down to second degree.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
Great.
Someone go. Okay, ready? Oh, someone asked, who do you think is the hardest pitcher both of you have ever faced? Well, I played Division II softball, so I'm sure Samantha has faced, but mine would be, I faced Autumn Humes in the Super Regionals, and she transferred. She's currently pitching for Kentucky. So that's me. How about you?
I mean, I faced Monica Abbott.
Oh God, I could never.
I remember I tipped the ball, and you know how in bench warmers,
You go, I tipped it.
I looked to the person on deck, and I was like, and then I struck out. And then the next at bat, I hit a pop up to second. So like huge strides, but she's definitely difficult, at least for me.
Oh yeah, for everybody. Even watching her play against when Team USA played against UCLA. As soon as she came in, we're like, oh, that's it. Okay. She's so good. She's so tall. She's just so badass. She's awesome. Last question. Anyway.
Okay.
She's a beast. Yes, she is. It is illegal to do. Oh no, I got two left. Why is the Encyclopedia Britannica banned in Texas?
Because we're dumb.
We don't use that many words. We use y'all and
Y'all isn't in there. I don't know.
It contains a formula for making beer at home.
Oh yeah.
So all of you Texans are probably just on top, and they wouldn't know. If in times like this, where you can't go out and maybe buy it, you could just make it at home.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right. It's illegal to do what from the second story of a hotel?
Spit. Oh yeah, spit.
The water balloons.
That's a good guess, but no.
They're water balloons?
No, that's also good. It's totally just bizarre. So out of the blue. Shoot a buffalo. Which I feel like should be illegal no matter where your location or story is that you're residing.
Yeah.
So
So if you do it from the third floor, you're fine.
yeah. Oh yeah, that.
Or any other floor, or like.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, I really hope I don't.
Who's shooting buffalo from the second story?
Yeah, that's like who I see exactly. Like when was someone like, this is too much. We need to put a law against this because it's happening too much.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, last challenge. Because so first, I feel like people our age, they have like there's two things that I feel people hate for no reason, and I'm really interested. One is Nickelback, and second is Nicolas Cage. Where do you fall in those two categories?
I don't have a problem with either of them. I think I like Nickelback songs.
I love Nickelback. I also love Nicolas Cage. People are like, oh my god, he's so like horrible. And I'm like, I really like his stuff. But
Yeah.
anyway, with that, I'm gonna challenge you to see if you can do it. Can you name 5 Nicolas Cage movies?
Well, he was in National Treasure.
Mm-hmm.
So how many? Do you know what National Treasure is? Sabrina.
I mean, stop.
So there's two, at least two.
Yep. Two.
Okay. Yeah. After that, my mom said The Last American Virgin.
Or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. I have.
No, it's okay. That's the only two I know off the top of my head.
So some other ones that people know is Gone in 60 Seconds. That's a popular one.
Okay.
Also, Face Off is popular.
Okay.
And the last one that people quote a lot is Ghost Rider.
Oh.
Yeah,
I've never seen that, but
also,
I've heard of it.
It's really good.
Okay.
It's definitely like
Watch.
it's really hard 80s vibes. But it's good. But yeah, no, there's probably, honestly, all you Nicolas Cage fans out there, there's probably a lot more. But those are the top ones. I don't think he's someone else. Who do you guys look up to the most in the sport? Ooh. Personally, I'm gonna say Jen Schroeder. I think she's awesome. I was a catcher, and she rocks it with catching stuff. Also, if you just need someone to light a fire in your butt and get you motivated to just get up and walk around, it's Jen. She can do anything. Like, she's awesome. I really like her. So that's mine. What about you?
I'm gonna stick with Ellie Carter. I just think she's doing everything that I want to do. I mean, she's playing for USA. She's pitching for USA. She's playing outfield. She's hitting. I mean, ideally, I consider myself a pitcher utility, and she's that at a higher level for me. I think I look up to a lot of baseball players too, and not just softball players. I like Marcus Stroman and
Oh, that's my player.
really, oh, he's so cool. His
What
yeah,
is it?
height doesn't measure heart.
Yeah, height doesn't measure heart. Yeah.
Yeah. His energy and his emotion that he plays with is probably helps a little bit with me. Christian Yelich, I like watching a swing. I think it's nice. I love watching lefty swings.
Mm-hmm.
It's so smooth. I don't feel like I like that smooth when I do it. But yeah.
Okay. Advice for athletes during quarantine. We'll just answer a couple of these questions quick, and then we're probably gonna continue our quarantines. But advice for athletes during quarantine. I would say definitely, if you can safely, go outside, breathe some fresh air. Practice your deep breathing, keep your lungs working. I would say, there's so much out there on the internet that can teach you without having setting on a field practicing. You can do a lot of stuff like that. Like me as a kid, I would hit in my garage off a tee into a mattress. You don't have to have anything fancy. Tracks. You don't. You basically just need a ball back. Or what Riley Sarton says, you need a ball and a wall to do defense. So that's something you can do. What do you have for advice for people at home?
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned this. I did a thing with Mizuno on their page, and this is probably really bad advice, but I remember playing baseball or softball in the house, obviously not with anything that could possibly break anything, but when we had open space, we had a plastic bat and whatever we made out of a ball, and we would just, pitch to each other and try to hit it. No, we didn't play on our knees. We were full force, sliding on carpet, getting carpet burn. Like, we were hitting it. Yeah, and one thing, if you want to at least keep your arms somewhat okay and you can't go outside, you could always, with a pair of socks that are kind of balled up and just throw it to a wall. If you're not throwing it too hard, I don't think a pair of socks could, put a hole in a wall. But
my best friend growing up, she went out to pitch at Purdue. One thing that she would do at home, she would, like you said, she would ball up socks and she would throw into a mirror to watch her mechanics. So pitchers, you can have that. I mean, if you happen to throw a sock hard enough to break a mirror, then call me recruited.
right.
That's some different level of strength.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we'll answer one more.
I'll do Taylor. When I'm pitching and I'm having a bad game, I tend to get down on myself. Do you have any advice on how to keep a positive attitude? One thing that helped me is as a pitcher, you tend to rely a lot on yourself and you try to do it all yourself. And when you kind of give some of that to your defense and let your defense work and trust them to do what they do and let them, there to do, it helps when you aren't throwing the best game and you have your defense there to rely on you. So really rely on your defense. And also know that the next pitch is the most important pitch. It doesn't matter what's happened, the past 5 pitches, that next pitch is the best pitch. And that's what you need to throw your best pitch and for that pitch. So rely on your defense and only worry about the pitch that you're about to throw.
Coming from an outside standpoint of someone who's not a pitcher, so everyone your defensive players out there, if you do see a pitcher struggling, it can get really lonely in that circle. So you have to be your hype man. You got to be your cheerleader, because they need that. Even though they're the big powerful pitcher in the circle, it can be lonely on the island out there. So, so yeah. But overall, I think that's all we're gonna answer for today. I think Instagram Live caps it at an hour. I asked after Unlimited today, I was like, how long do you want the Q&A to go? They're like, okay, like a half hour, but we definitely went a little
Whoops.
But that's okay. I mean, what else are we going to do in quarantine?
Right? Nothing.
But yeah, so shout out to Wheel of Softball for letting us use platform and Athletes Unlimited using their platform to do this live Q&A today. Also, a huge shout out to Samantha Show. Everyone give an at-home round of applause. The crowd is roaring at home. So yeah, that's going to be a wrap. Sam, do you have anything you would like to add?
No, y'all just be on the lookout for kind of what we're putting out. We're trying to make this time as enjoyable as we can with also growing, Athletes Unlimited and just growing the game. So y'all just follow, both of these pages. Why not? You don't really have anything else to do. But yeah, thank you for having me and talking to me, asking me fun questions. It's been fun.
Good. I'm glad you had fun. So, because I've never really done Instagram Live, so today it was a learning experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, that's all we got. Everybody, stay home, stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands. That's all we can do right now. And just, you got the social media, as Sam said, to keep yourself updated on the softball world, what's going on, regardless of what you follow. So yeah, but I think that's a wrap.
Cool.
All right. So everybody, stay safe. We're gonna head out now.